what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Twitter at SuperHypeDC, link is in the description, and leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. So, CCXP was this past weekend. It's usually one of like the biggest cons of the year, but I think overall it didn't really please many people this year. It seemed to be kind of a disappointment, a flop, kind of a waste of time for a lot of people who are watching. Like, I tuned out not that long into it. Like, actually, I didn't even watch from the beginning. I just wanted to watch the Warner Media stream or panel. But it was 6 hours, and I was like, okay. In my mind, I didn't really want to watch the whole thing, start to finish. And I figured that if there were any, like, big bombshells to be released or revealed or whatever, they wouldn't have I figured they wouldn't have been until, like, towards the end of the 6 hours, because they want you to watch through all of that smaller topic stuff before you get to, like, the big ones, you know what I mean? But I tuned out, and then I would kind of just, like, check Twitter once in a while to see if something big happened or whatever. Nothing. I was surprised that they didn't have anything to show for Suicide Squad. It's been done filming for a long time. And at DC Fandom, they just showed like concept art, character looks, and some behind the scenes stuff and talked about it. Like, they didn't show anything from it as far as like a trailer, a teaser, nothing like that. They didn't show anything new from the Batman. I was... Mom, can you help me? Sorry, duty called. I was not expecting anything from the Snyder Cut. Like, Zack Snyder's Justice League, I didn't have any expectations for that. I would have been totally shocked if there was something for it, to be honest. I just didn't expect it. I don't know why people were surprised that, like, there wasn't anything new from The Flash. Well, they haven't started filming. Like, what are they going to show? At DC Fandom, they showed the concept art. They gave us some ideas of kind of what to expect for the movie. But what would they show? What would be new to show that they didn't show at DC Fandom a couple of months ago? If there's no filming, there's not going to be anything new to say or show about it. They're not going to spoil something about it. So that wasn't a surprise to me. However, there was an interesting thing that came up with the popular comic book writer Scott Snyder, who does not have relation to Zack Snyder, even though Zack Snyder praised him in one of his recent interviews. I think it was the Film Junkie stream. He mentioned how much he appreciates his work. He revealed, I guess you could say, that he was asked to work on a comic adaptation and expansion of the Justice League Snyder Cut mythology that Zack Snyder is doing on HBO Max. So this brings up, is Zack Snyder's Justice League going to get an expansion, like via the comic book medium? He said that, it said that he half-jokingly said that he turned down the job because he has a lot of jobs ahead of him and he can't deal with people confusing us anymore. I want to know what that means. I didn't see this panel, so I didn't hear him saying all of this. So the context for me about, like, people confusing us, I don't know what that's referring to. I don't know if it's referring to what happened with the Justice League movie and, like, the studio or DC, like, not understanding and not knowing what they want, thinking they know what they want with the movie or the universe, but then it failed. Like, I don't know if that's what he's referring to or something else. So if you know, you can let me know, because I didn't watch the panel, just reading like what he said about it. However, even though he turned it down, it doesn't mean that, you know, if they want to do this, that doesn't mean that, oh, he said no, so we're not going to do it. There's, you know, they could offer this to other comic book writers and artists and stuff, because it would be pretty cool. I think there'd be a big audience for it. They already did something similar with Man of Steel, the prequel comic that focused on Kara, Supergirl, and her team of explorers, you know, when they came to Earth as a prequel comic. People enjoyed that. It still gets talked about. Even BVS had 9 tie-in comics. There were 5 digital first comics, each focusing on a different character from the movies. And then there were also 4 General Mills Presents BVS comics packed into cereal boxes. So it's not the first time that they've used Zack Snyder's Snyderverse to cross over into the comics. And then it says that HBO Max has also gotten into comics with the digital prequel comic for Raised by Wolves. I didn't know about that either. So it's not, something that hasn't been done before or like unheard of. And like I said, with Zack Snyder's movies having such a big fan base and such a huge, support system of fans, I think it would be a really cool thing to see. Like, it's cool to see. Yes, it's awesome to see like the characters in the book come to life in a movie. It's also cool to see it when the live action interpretation, when it's kind of backwards, right? Like, yes, these characters are based on comic book characters, but to see them kind of blend together and like, when you're reading these comics, you have your live action person in those stories that you're reading. Like, that's cool, right? I don't know. I'm trying to explain it, but you know what I mean. It'd be cool to see the Superman that looks like Henry Cavill in the comic, the Wonder Woman that looks like Gal Gadot in the comic, and so on and so forth. We've already kind of seen how like a lot of like Aquaman artists have portrayed him to look more like Jason Momoa's Aquaman since he was portrayed this way for the first time. Zack Snyder really changed the way he looked. Not his suit, of course, he's recognizable as Aquaman. But, the long hair, the beard, he kind of has like this tougher look to him compared to what he looked like before in comics. Like, it's cool to see how it can go the other way too. How the live action can also inspire and influence the comic book art and also like story, the universe itself, how they can also, it's not just a one direction flow, if that makes sense. Like, it's not only comic book to movie that inspires, it can go the other direction too. The live action can also inspire what they do in the comics. And so I think it would be pretty cool if they decide to do this. I think a lot of people would be on board, even if it's not, Scott Snyder doing it. Obviously, if they want to do this, they still have other options. So I think that was pretty cool. Probably one of the more interesting things people were talking about to come out of CCXP. Like I said, they had like a 1-minute Wonder Woman trailer, I guess you would call it, with a couple new parts included in it, but it was only a minute. They don't really need to show it anymore because it is coming out in a couple of weeks. So, I think the marketing on that is fine. It's coming out in a couple of weeks finally. Then MTV also showed an exclusive clip, speaking of Wonder Woman 84. I mean, it doesn't have any spoiler content in it, which is good. But, like I said, there wasn't really anything to come of CCXP that was like mind-blowing or just, epic. So this was one of the more interesting topics that came up. I just wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts. Would you be interested in something like this? Let me know your thoughts. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow me on Twitter. We'll see you guys next time.